Good evening. Pastor Apollo Kiboy refutes the sexual abuse allegations made by former members of his religious sect, Kingdom of Jesus Christ. In an audio statement on Wednesday, the televangelist says he is only being accused of rape because he rejected the women whom he says were fighting over him. Quiboloy alleges that the women who are supposedly maligning him are suffering from what he calls a Potiphar's wife syndrome. Potiphar's wife is a biblical figure in the book of Genesis who falsely accused Joseph of sexual abuse after he rejected her sexual advances. Moreover, the religious leader says that his accusers were trying to wed him for his money. According to Quiboloy, his accusers were humiliated after being rejected and are now twisting their stories. Quiboloy says it took him some time to respond to the allegations because he did not want his accusers to be embarrassed. In response to his audio statement, Senator Hontiveros, who is leading the Senate inquiry on Quiboloy's alleged offenses, told him not to play the victim. During a Senate hearing on January 23, three of Quiboloy's former followers accused the pastor of repeatedly raping them for years. Quiboloy is also facing complaints in the U.S. where he was declared by the Federal Bureau of Investigation a wanted person in 2022. Senator Hontiveros issues an ultimatum against alleged sex offender Apollo Kiboy after the Senate issued a fresh subpoena against him. The subpoena directed the religious leader to appear before the chamber's public hearing on March 5. Senator Hontiveros asks Quiboloy to face legal process, which include a Senate investigation. Hontiveros heads the Senate Committee on Children, Family Relations, and Gender Equality Committee, which is handling an investigation on Quiboloy's alleged crimes. Hontiveros says that she will cite Quiboloy for contempt and have him arrested if he does not show up on the March 5 hearing. The new subpoena served against Quiboloy is the second summon released by the Senate. Hontiveros earlier stressed the need to force Quiboloy to come out as lawmakers probe into the crimes allegedly committed by him and his church. She added that her office received credible evidence of threats on the lives of former Kingdom of Jesus Christ members who earlier testified against Quiboloy. However, the religious leader released an audio recording on Wednesday wherein he admitted that he is hiding due to a supposed plot to have him killed. Pastor Apollo Kiboy of the Kingdom of Jesus Christ admits being in hiding due to a supposed plot to have him killed amid pressure from the Senate and the House of Representatives for him to face their hearing. In a voice message uploaded on YouTube, Kiboy accuses the United States government of orchestrating an assassination plot against him. Kiboy says he had to put off a press conference because his life is under threat, adding that he won't show his face for now. According to Kiboy, instead of having him arrested, U.S. authorities had supposedly planned to enter his compound and have him kidnapped or murdered. He also claims that President Bongbong Marcos had supposedly connived with the U.S. to execute the kill plot against him. The U.S. Embassy, however, denies to engage with Kiboy's allegations, saying that questions about legal proceedings should be directed to the U.S. Department of Justice. The U.S. Federal Bureau of Investigation had put out wanted posters of Kiboy in 2022. Kiboy had been facing various sex trafficking charges in the U.S. and bulk cash smuggling. This is the first time in weeks that the self-proclaimed appointed Son of God speaks to the public amid the congressional inquiries that had been seeking his presence. The Senate had subpoenaed him to appear before the Committee on Women, Children, Family Relations, and Gender Equality, which is probing the allegations of abuses he committed against women and children. Meanwhile, the House had also required his presence on March 12 before its Committee on Legislative Franchises, which is investigating alleged violations by Kingdom of Jesus Christ-owned Sunshine Media Network International of its term of franchise. Throughout his message, Kiboy never mentions whether he is honoring the subpoenas. He, however, says the processes are only in place to demonize him and destroy his reputation. In his statement, Kiboy hints that he is in a rural village in Davao City. The U.S. Embassy in the Philippines expresses confidence that religious leader Apollo Kiboy will face justice for his crimes. In a statement, the U.S. Embassy spokesperson Kanishka Gangopadhyay says the embassy maintains that Kiboy has engaged in rights abuses, including rape of girls, despite repeated denial from the religious leader himself. Kiboy is currently on the wanted list of the U.S. Federal Bureau of Investigation. The embassy statement comes after Quiboloy claimed that the US was conspiring with the Philippine government to have him eliminated. According to Quiboloy, instead of having him arrested, US authorities had supposedly planned to enter his compound and have him kidnapped or murdered. However, Gango Padiay declines to engage with Quiboloy's allegations, saying that legal proceedings should be directed to the US Department of Justice. Over 50 lawmakers signed a manifesto rejecting the proposal of former President Rodrigo Duterte for a separate Mindanao Republic. From the total of 57 lawmakers who signed the manifesto, 53 signatories were legislators representing different districts in Mindanao. The manifesto, titled as the Unified Manifesto of Mindanao Congressmen for National Integrity and Development, calls for national unity and opposes the secession of Mindanao. In the manifesto, the lawmakers say that the call for a separate Mindanao not only undermines our democratic principles, the peace and security of our communities, and the collective welfare of the Filipino people, but it also betrays our oath of office to support and defend the Constitution. The lawmakers also call for the diligent prosecution of individuals who are fostering disunity among people, violates the Constitution, and threatens the sovereign integrity of the nation. The call for a separate Mindanao Republic came from Duterte and former Speaker and current Davao del Norte 1st District Representative Pantaleon Alvarez. A bill that seeks to reinstate a divorce has reached the House of Representatives plenary floor for consideration and debate. House Bill number 9349, or the Absolute Divorce Act, was sponsored by different lawmakers, including Albay 2nd District Representative Edsa Lagman, Cebu 3rd District Representative Pablo John Garcia, Negros Occidental 4th District Representative Juliet Ferrer, and Gabriela Party List Representative Arlene Brosas. The measure was brought to the House plenary floor during Tuesday's session. According to Garcia, the Philippines remains as the only country in the world which does not have divorce as a way for dissolving failed marriages aside from Vatican City. Meanwhile, Lagman assures people that divorce is only an option since this will not be the only way to dissolve marriages because of the presence of annulment. Lagman adds that a divorce decree entitles a chance to remarry. Meanwhile, Brosas notes that they have been calling for the legalization of divorce in the country since Gabriela got a seat in the 13th Congress, as the party list believes it would free married women from failed and abusive marriages. Under the bill, physical violence, prostitution, drug addiction, homosexuality, marital infidelity, and abandonment are among the considered grounds for absolute divorce. Here's the latest roundup of today's top stories. Pastor Apollo Kiboy refutes sexual abuse allegations made by former members of his religious sect. Kiboy admits he's hiding due to a supposed plot to have him killed. U.S. Embassy confident that Kiboy will face justice for heinous crimes. And 57 lawmakers signed manifesto against ex-President Duterte's Mindanao Republic idea. These are the stories you need to know today. I'm Neil Mercado, following INQUIRER.net on Facebook, X, YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, and Reddit. For more stories, visit INQUIRER.net. Good evening.